All right, so for ease of demonstration, I've already measured out all of my ingredients. It is 776 grams of, I prefer a high gluten flour, and 606 grams of water, which you can see that's that ratio. It's going to be a very, very wet dough. 14 grams of salt and 4 grams of yeast. So I'm going to add it all. And I'm going to mix it for not that long, just until everything comes together. Starting to come together now. And what I look for is that peeling off of the side so that the dough is coming together. And that's about it. I'm going to remove the dough hook. And as you can see, it's a very, very, very sticky dough. So now I put it on my proof pad. I'm going to cover it up, and I'm going to put a timer for 20 minutes. Okay, 20 minutes have gone, and I am going to fold the dough over. And as you can see, it's tearing apart when I pull it over and fold it. And I'm going to let it sit for another 20 minutes. And I'm going to do exactly the same thing. And if you notice on the second pull and stretch, it's not breaking apart like it was the first time. And that's the gluten developing. So we're going to put this back on for 20 more minutes. All right, so here we have the dough is starting to come together really nice. If you notice this time when I pull it and fold it, it doesn't rip at all. Just do that a couple times. And now it's going to sit and rise for 2 hours. All right, so it has been 2 hours, and as you can see, the bread is nicely developed. So at this point, I am going to put a generous amount of flour on here. I'm going to move it around. And I'm going to put the dough on here. I'm not going to work in all this flour. It's just so it won't stick. And this is the most important part, where you don't want to overwork the bread. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it over. And you can see I'm barely touching it. And I'm going to just shape it very rudimentary. Why is this not staying on? Sorry. All right, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide this into 4 loaves. And you can see I'm barely touching it or moving it. And I'm going to do the same. So they're not going to be perfect shape. That's not intended to be on ciabatta. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cover these and let them rise for an hour.
What are you covering them with?
With that
An apron.
An apron, a cloth apron.
Nothing moist.
No, nothing
Okay.
moist.
There you go.
Okay, so it's been an hour. The dough is here. I'm going to start putting it in the oven. It doesn't look like it's raised much, but you'll see what happens when it gets in the oven. I use this amount of ice cubes in the oven. It seems like a lot, but it gives it a nice crust, which I really like. So I'm going to put this in and set the timer for 10 minutes, and then I will show you what it looks like. As you can see, they actually puffed up quite nicely. There's actually a split on some of them because they're nice and doughy. So you can see how little you shape the ciabatta. It's very simple, but if you overwork it, you'll get a flatter ciabatta.